All right, so once again, my leg off the accelerator and slows down the car, stops the car. Just got back from Busan, driving 5 hours straight on a level 3 iPedal. You actually have to press quite a lot on the accelerator in order to get the car moving. I'm not so sure what the reason is for that. One more attempt before I let you go. Let's go test this guy out. Here I am with my exhaustive review about this 2025 Kia EV3 test drive. I'm moving around just a little bit more so I can actually clock that 1,000 kilometers mark. Let me recap one of the most important things when it comes to overall exhaustive review of the car. This thing I picked up that I could not from that very short first test drive of the EV3 video is that the auto drive mode plus the iPedal 3.0, an EV, electric vehicle, therefore it has Regen brakes. Early EVs from Hyundai Motor Group cars, it only had the different levels of the Regen brakes that you can choose from. So ranging from level 0 all the way up to 1, 2, 3, you have 4 different levels of the Regen brakes where you can set the strength of the Regen brake accordingly to your needs. And after that came the iPedal, equivalent to one pedal driving of other manufacturers, i.e. Tesla one pedal driving. It essentially is a tech that allows you to drive the vehicle with just one foot on the accelerator. So hit on the accelerator, it will pick up the speed, let go, it will actually engage the Regen brakes, slow the car down, put the car at a complete stop, at halt, at red light, and so forth. So with the original iPedal, you actually had to let go of the accelerator in order to find that right spot. So it actually took some skill for you to learn when to lift your foot off to precisely stop the vehicle at your desired position. And also with that iPedal 2.0, it only allowed the vehicle to operate with the maximum Regen brake. So as soon as you lift your foot off the accelerator, you got that massive level 3 Regen kicking in. So that was the only thing that you could do with the first iPedal. However, come this iPedal 3.0, you can actually choose your iPedal level varying from level 0 all the way up to 1, 2, 3. So 4 different levels of iPedal that you can set. It's self-explanatory, lower the number, much more smoother, and minimal Regen brake that will engage with the vehicle. One thing I really want to mention about the iPedal 3.0 is that if you actually press on the accelerator on a level 3 iPedal, you actually have to press quite a lot on the accelerator in order to get the car moving. I'm not so sure what the reason is for that. It's almost to the extent where you actually would have to wait about 0.2, 0.3 seconds, but that's the way how iPedal level 3 works. So let me just quickly show it to you. iPedal, it's stopped, it's put at level 0. I'm hitting on the paddle, watch, just like that. All right, so it moves, right? So there's no car. Let me just show it to you one more time. iPedal level 3, hitting on it. So you see the delay right here, hitting on it. So you see the delay right here? I wouldn't really say that it bothers me, but there is that, just like now. So light changed, but it actually takes quite a lot of time for the car to respond to my accelerator. The car does not behave like that whatsoever in any other different modes. So put it on the auto mode, which I should actually talk about right now. Let me wrap up the iPedal 3.0 once again. So beware, there is that difference of the reaction time. However, you can always change it. So there are 4 different Regen brakes I told you about, 4 different levels of the iPedal, which adds up to 8 different Regen brakes and modes that you can play around with this EV3. But last but not least, the cherry on top is actually the auto mode. Let me just quickly show it to you. Press hold the left pedal shifter for a long time. It goes into the iPedals, and also hit on the paddle shifter just like so, left and right, to change the different levels. And hit it one more time, press long. You can set the Regen brake, the fixed Regen brake, as you can see, level 0, 1, 2, 3. Press hold the right pedal shifter, it now goes into auto. It really is the automatic drive mode of this Regen brake. Well, essentially it automatically controls the whole Regen brake plus the car depending on where you are, how you're driving, and what situation you are in. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is essentially what it is. If I am actually slowing down, try to slow down the car on a downhill, apply a bit of gentle foot brake, the car knows that I'm going downhill and it actually locks my speed, which is what you want. And there are also the downhill speed assist in internal combustion cars and other few EV cars too, but you don't have to use that tech anymore so long as you just use this auto mode. The car will detect the vehicle in the front and it will also slow down the vehicle, even put the car into a complete stop if necessary. You will see the auto light turning green and you'll see that the car has fully been engaged, and it will also display and show that it's completely stopped. The vehicle in the front is slowing down. I lift my foot off the accelerator, doing nothing, so the vehicle slows down and stops the car. Watch. Stops the car completely. And right here it says stop. So the vehicle stopped on its own. I've been doing this all this time, right? So that's what it does. Because with the iPedal, you actually have to lift your foot off the accelerator and should be in control, and you should manage the distance between the car in front of you. But that's not really the case with the auto mode. Like I showed you, it also controls the speed during the downhill and also works together on the corners, turns, exits as well. Using together the onboard navigation, the car is consistently utilizing the information from the navigation in order to implement that to this auto drive mode. All right, so once again, my leg off the accelerator and slows down the car, stops the car. It doesn't get any better than this. I mean, I feel like this is the last stage right before the level 4 autonomous drive. I mean, I should really be careful about saying that. Well, because we don't know how many years we are behind. What will be the next step after this, before the level 4 autonomous drive? Just look at this. It works just like this. So it is different from the iPedal. I don't know how better I should actually put this in words, but it's the next level of the iPedal, that is for sure. Because iPedal, once again, it was the one pedal driving. You can do so much more with this auto drive. Enough of the auto drive and the Regen brakes that I've been talking about. That was what I really needed to go over and tell you, because it was something that I've completely missed out on my first brief test drive. So that is the reason for today's video. There was just so many things that I needed to go over and went over for me to share with you. No wonder why I was just so lost when I first hopped inside the driver's seat of the EV3. I did play around with the pedal shifters, but then just so many things popped up. Like, I don't even know how I went into the certain modes and how I got out. Now you guys know. Hopefully, if you are watching this video and if you are the EV3 owner, I hope I solved the answer, the puzzle that you had about this auto drive, iPedal 3.0, and all the other different Regen brakes and modes that the car came with. It does not recognize the red light. Of course, you actually have to stop the vehicle. Maybe the next step right before the autonomous drive would be actually recognizing traffic lights as well as pedestrians and crossing lights. I think I answered my own question there. 977 kilometers on the odometer. I want to charge this car one more time to find out what the charging speed will be. Up until now, I actually managed to find somewhere around 60 to 70 kilowatts. I'm pretty sure I can actually reach all the way up to 100 given the conditions are met. Fingers crossed, hopefully I get that number with this test drive. And mostly I've been doing the freeway drive up until now. I think I'm driving the car for like 6-7 hours straight. 23 hours and 27 minutes for the past 3 days. I did go over on a long distance drive with the EV3. I put the car into a variety of conditions and I think I did check out pretty much everything that this car has got to offer. But at this point of time, I want to bring up and tell you about the battery efficiency, the driving range on this car. When I actually was driving the car on the freeway and freeway only, I was hitting somewhere around 5.9 kilometer per kilowatt hour-ish. The best I could do was somewhere around 6 kilometers per kilowatt hour. However, the moment I got into the cities and started driving, right now I am already seeing reading 6.9. So this number is only going to go up, and it just went up to 7. right now. So the maximum driving distance that you see on top is pretty much the ultimate driving distance you could possibly get utilizing the entire Regen brakes, not the other way around. The average driving distance in the middle the car shows you is pretty accurate. Not only does it constantly update the driving distance based on your driving habits, I know it's only going to go up. I even saw 10 kilometers at one point when I was driving down in Busan. Just one more thing, I am actually a very poor driver when it comes to the fuel efficiency and also the driving range of the EVs. I actually never ever got proposed driving range fuel efficiency from the manufacturer. It doesn't matter what car it is. The closest car I had was Tucson Hybrid. However, I'm going to look it up right now, but I have a feeling that I did actually meet the suggested driving range of the EV3. Right now, I am seeing 5.7 kilometers per kilowatt hour for the entire drive of 979 kilometers as you see on the odometer. EV3 might be the first car that I actually clock it. Well, I keep repeating myself just in case because I know the video is already forever long, so some people might be missing it. I actually have been running the AC the whole time, 979 kilometers of the drive. That is the AC on, and I had my wife and my doggo with me all the time, and at one point I also had two of my family members sitting on the second row seat too. Calculate all that load, I still managed to get this much of driving range. It is insane. Of that 900 kilometers, about 700 kilometers is actually purely on the highway and highway only, which we all know is the worst condition for the EVs to get the best driving range possible, right? Put that into calculation, please, and I think you will get much more than I did. I think it'd be fair to say that EV3 will give you the driving range of 500 kilometers easy. I assure you, it will be very difficult for you to actually reach lower than 500 accumulated driving distance of SOC at 100%. Clocking that charging time in real life one more time, I actually want to find out the best charging speed possible, because right now I've only clocked 60 to 70 kilowatt, and I believe the car can actually push all the way up to somewhere around 100 kilowatts. I always post community posts asking what you guys want to know about whenever I get this brand new car test drives and so forth. I got quite a lot of questions last time when I did review the Tucson and Tucson Hybrid models, but not like this time. I had crazy amount of questions. Well, thank you very much taking the time to write down the questions, and also it really enriches my content. I love the questions. Some of the questions are brilliant, like things that I have never thought about. So I really love these questions that I get from my viewers. So keep it coming. Due to the constraints I have, some of the questions I often cannot find out the answers to, or I might not be able to deliver the precise answer. As you can see, I run the channel on my own, so there are just the physical limitations. Keep that in mind. I'll go through all the questions that you guys have given me and answer it one by one right now. Pretty sure I'll just come up with a whole new video on it because it will be forever long, and it will be a completely different category of those people looking for the test drive video and impressions on the car versus going over all this question Q&A session. Those of you guys who are interested, meet me over there in the Q&A video. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching CarSceneKorea. If you've been watching this far, appreciate it. Thank you very much. I did show this already on my previous video, but just look at that. Gotta love that 360 view cam. And this EV3 is still here because that one is actually a base model, whereas this car is the GT line. So turn it off. Look at that. Fancy, isn't it? So I did plug it in. I think it stopped at 41.5, right? So that is actually worse than what I've seen earlier. So you guys know it really depends on the charger. So I will just try out the one on the right just in case, see how that differs. Before this one, it pushed out to about 74 kilowatt. So I know it can do more than that. Let's try out the right one, but I think I'm not gonna get all that lucky. Well, never mind. This one is actually not working. Maybe now is a good time to test out that noise level of the car as well. You guys be the judge. And this is the standing still, closing everything. And how's my voice? Oh, no wonder this one didn't close. I was like, it doesn't. All right, that makes more sense. Because I was like, I don't really see the difference, like what's going on, because I know it's super quiet and cozy inside the EV3, but yeah. So this versus that. I'm pretty sure it stands out a lot on the video. Overall, a great city car, great commuter car, performs great on the cities as well, highway as well. I did that plenty of times on my test drive videos, as you guys just saw. You can pick up the speed easy on this car. The car is going to be nimble and fun to drive, easy to drive to be precise. Not too much power, front wheel driven, so it is very, very easy to drive. Unlike the rear wheel drive and crazy power the recent EVs are getting. Just straight lines one more time. Power is there, you see. So it's very easy to drive, I'll give you that. One more attempt before I let you go. Let's go test this guy out. You see these charging stations? I have high hopes for this one. Let's go. It should say momentarily. There we go, charging started. An hour and 20, so I think that is almost like the similar number. And while we wait for that, I actually also want to download some footage from the built-in cam. Oh, it's going up and up. 60, haha. 70 is not an issue. Are we gonna see it? Oh, 69.2. So I guess it's capped at 70 kilowatt. Once again, I did see over 70. So I know what this car is capable of. This is the charger to blame. Well, anyhow, well, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I wanna download this guy. Wow, look at the speed. So I actually want to use some of these footage, the daytime footage and the night footage that is actually underground, it seems like. Look at the speed of this thing. Oh my god, guys, 71.1. So it did go up to 71.1. I actually just got back from Busan, driving 5 hours straight. Let's really move on to the questions now. Smart Regen brake now also stops the car too. I did mention about this